Here's Harrison Nieves to get this one started. And we're underway in Atlanta. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10.
Let's go now. 70 Lions.
They're going to run it here. It's Bijan Robinson. Drops by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. To the air with Penix. Gets it quickly to Palmer. And they'll stop him here, but not before he gets out to the 47-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 47. A handoff for Robinson, running right. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play. Offense to the line fast.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 46-yard line.
Back now, pressure coming. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught.
Kane, I think that's a little taster, a little entree of what's to come for this wide receiver. He's going to have to make some plays into some contested coverages, and he could do it right there.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Third and long for him here. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. Well, I am flipping through, Brock. That certainly wasn't in the offense's opening script, but if you're a defender, just how you wrote it up.
Yeah, defensively, that was a week of practice and planning visualized and executed in real time.
This lands deep into the end zone. We're picking things up at the 20 after the touchback. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10.
Here we go. 60 by 6. Go.
Here's Brees Hall on the ground for the first time. And he'll pull his way in for a 4-yard pickup.
That is simply a stay-on-schedule kind of run. Nothing more, nothing less, just right on schedule.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6.
18 Cardinal.
Working now from the gun. He throws a bullet down the left sideline. Really pushing the envelope on 2nd down, but the deep shot doesn't work. We're seeing this more and more these days, mixing some deep looks into that opening script. Brock test all levels of the secondary. They held up there.
Yeah, and it's not going to be the last time this defense will be tested. This group likes to push the ball down the field. They answered the call that time.
To the air on 3rd and long. Has him on the quick hitter. This does not get it. Looking short field, but the defender is there to force this 4th down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
He's got to go back for this one. Great punt. Fair caught at the 6.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line.
Second from the gun to start. First and 10. Penix here from the gun. He just kept going the wrong way, and that's going to cost him. That is a safety. I thought we were coming here to call an NFL game today, partner, but this has me smelling peanuts and hot dogs. This is starting more like a baseball game. We got a 2-0 score here, still in the first.
Kind of like a little pitcher's duel, too, right? I mean, just one of these games, and if it starts this way, who knows where it goes from here. But I do know this. It's a confidence builder for a defense. When a defense can go out there, not just get a stop, but put points on the board, man, does that usually infuse them with energy to come.
This one's going to bounce into the end zone and will end as a touchback.
And the Jets, first down. A gain on the play. First down, Jets.
The New York offense ready to get going here. It's first and 10. They kick the running back in motion. First carry here for Braylon Allen. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Roy Anderson, that time with the tackle.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Takes the second down snap. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be third down.
I know that you and I love, Kate, looking at plays and discussing them and all the different outlets and checkdowns, and usually there's a completion to be had. Not against this defense. Not on that one.
No connection on the last play. Now it's third down. Third and long. They're going to throw. Into heavy coverage, and that's intercepted. And the Falcons have it now as he makes the 20th interception of his career. Well, we all know, Brock, those slot guys start piling up receptions, and that makes them a priority target for the defense.
Yep.
They kept someone nearby, and they pick off that check down.
Yeah, if a play breaks down in today's football, like back in my day, last century, right, you checked it down to the running back. That's not the case anymore. These slot receivers, well, they're as big a security blanket as running backs are, but the defenses, to your point, Kate, they figured it out too. And that defense, well, they didn't just figure it out in their head. They went out and executed with their bodies to take it away. Kate, this quarterback gets out of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Ball still on that 34-yard line, second and 10. From the shotgun, Penix. He just throws this one away.
Once that quarterback broke the pocket, kind of turns into like a zone read option a little bit, Kate. You got a couple choices. Keep it yourself or try to force the throw. There was nowhere to go. He really should have used his legs.
Third down, it's Penix. And the incompletions continuing to stack up here, Brock. 3 straight plays as the defender knocks it away. Now it's fourth down.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. The quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not 2 hands that got on the football.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And they're able to get 3 points off that turnover.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all this concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Here's Miller on the return. He brushed him off with ease. And he's out a little short of the 30. Jets getting ready for this first and 10.
Let's go now. Cowboy 80. Go.
Back to work after throwing the pin. Finds a man. Mason Taylor has it. Gain 15 there. And that's good for a Jets first down.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
Ready. Ready.
Hall running between the tackles. Jerks away from one. Fighting his way through, but he lost the football. But it looked like someone on the Jets got to it first, so the Jets hold on to the football. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up second and 2. Almost the impact play this defense was searching for, but they could only get half the job done, partner. Fumble forced, but they couldn't recover.
I'll tell you what else it forces, though. That coordinator, that play caller on the other side, now got a little bit of doubt about his ball handlers. Got
for it to have come earlier as he gets forward a bunch and gets him the first down. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And it's good for a New York first down.
Mustang 19. Ready?
He's going to throw it. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. And that sack quickly changes the tone of this series, Brock. It's second down.
Ready?
Pass play coming here. Going deep here for the end zone. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
You know, that type of play is so doggone impressive, not just because it saves a touchdown. He had timed that perfectly to knock it free without drawing a flag and letting him establish possession for the score.
Cross 50, cross 6, Cougar 19.
Here he goes, third and long. Throw left side, Taylor has it. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. So a timely moment for a big play, and they get the first on third and 19.
Here we go, start.
It's a gain of 20.
70 Lions.
And the Jets first down.
Hawk 70, Hawk, come 19. Cut.
From the red zone now. And this is going to fall incomplete in the end zone. Wanted it all right there. And you've got to regroup for second down. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react. And then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact. I can promise you that is a throw, and as a quarterback, when it leaves your hands, you do not want to flirt with as this game goes on. That is a prime one that DB can cut off and take the other way.
Ready up.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. The Jets take their first time out. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend.
Ready.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here.
Let's go.
Setting up to throw. They'll have the first down and even more. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moments. He's at the 1. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got first and goal.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
We're a quarter of the way through on this chilly winter afternoon. You are seeing that right. It is a 3-2 ball game. We'll make our return to Mercedes-Benz Stadium after this. Back now for the second quarter, and the Jets, they've got to look towards that end zone.
Here we go, here we go. Pass the 6, ready.
Hall. Reaches the end zone. Touchdown, New York. The Jets take a second quarter lead. Breece Hall with the touchdown. Quite the throw from him on that play, Brock. I gotta say, he looked like he'd make quite the emergency quarterback for this squad if the need ever arises, huh?
And Kate, I know how this plays out, all right? They worked on it all week. He showed out during the practice week on the practice field, and now he just showed out when it really mattered, and everybody's going to hear about it, and they don't mind, because you're absolutely right. That was a dime for 6.
This one is up and good. And the Jets push their lead to 6. Nevis ready to send this one away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out on the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Falcons in good field position here as they start out first and 10. Penix working from the gun. He puts some juice on a deep throw down the Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
Connecting on the slant. All right, short of the marker for the moment, but they've got third and short coming up from their own 44.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Third and a lone yard coming up. Try and run here with Robinson. They sent him right up the gut, but he wasn't able to get anywhere. The defense braced for impact, and they made the stop. It's fourth down. Once again, it is Jack Browning out for the punt.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
First look, a little pistol formation as they come to the line. First and 10.
Get it? 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Now he'll throw off the play fake. He's trying to push the field. He had it for a moment, but a complete defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
Cowboy 80.
Taps it quick to the receiver coming across. They're on him behind the line, and the give to the receiver doesn't work. Digging deep in the playbook here, and this is third and 11.
Come on, come on. Ready.
They'll throw, third and long. Ooh, put some heat on this deep ball. Big game downfield. And he's all the way across midfield, down inside that 45-yard line. He finds 37 yards on the play to move those chains.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw. When you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there. Need a better result than that last run. It's second and 8.
Safety Ranger, safety range. Like it.
They'll work against the blitz. He's got a man left. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Right side, this is caught by Taylor. Nice run across the 15. It's a New York touchdown. The Jets go up by 12.
That play really had all the elements you're looking for from a tight end, showing that he can stretch that field. With your route check, secure the catch, quickly become a runner check, and finally go finish that drive off and celebrate with your homeboys.
Point after by Revis is good. And the Jets bump the lead up to 13 points.
Harrison Davis to kick off.
Revis ready to send this one away. And he just sends this out and over the end zone, so no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball up at the 35 to begin this drive. Good starting spot here for the Falcons, Brock. This is first and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And that carry only nets one on the plunge up the gut.
That's the kind of yardage that's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now second down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Defense showing blitz. Here's Penix. Nabbed by Kyle Pitts. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Ball just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10. Penix now to throw. Cut down the field. It's Pitts. And they're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. They get 23 on that one. And that's a Falcon 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Play action. Here's Penix. Back to Pitts it goes. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gained 18 on the previous play. Exactly 2 minutes to play in half number 1. More from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in just a moment. Breaking the huddle. Here's 1st and goal. Penix is going to throw again. To the end zone, but incomplete. He couldn't get it. That's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Okay, you get down to this tight red zone, and there's only so many pass plays you can run. Largely because you don't have enough space to operate. Defense knows it too. Give those guys some credit. They were all over that one.
It's Penix yet again. Now try to set up the screen. Here's Robinson. He's hit and driven backwards. This is going to force him into 3rd and goal.
Frees up 3rd and goal.
And again, it's Penix. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. Touchdown, Atlanta. The Falcons making a 1-score game before halftime. It's a Bijan Robinson touchdown. Extra point by Q is up and good. And the Falcons get it back to within 6. So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. Here's Miller on the return. This makes it up to the 25. New York to the line. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Start.
Airing it out to start this drive. He's throwing deep to the left. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Falcons get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season.
Intercepted. The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
The Falcons in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Penix here from the gun. Finds his back. It's Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. Now the Falcons trying to get everyone up and set here.
And the Falcons
On 1st down, here's Penix. Defense is too much here. The Jets drag him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, partner, that was a coverage sack in just about every way imaginable. Offense spreads it out. Get everybody out into the routes, but the defense, they just would not relent. Even as he bailed from the pocket, trying to create lanes, they wouldn't give him any. You get the huge sack, too.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
I hate to be Mr. Negative guy, but a sack 2 plays ago, an incompletion right there. All that's missing, Kate, is an interception on this play. And you're going to hand this quarterback a misfortune trifecta that nobody wants.
So after that prior incompletion, it's 3rd down. 3rd and long for him here. Gets it quickly to Palmer. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down the completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
They must really trusted this guy's range. He's out for what would be a very long field goal. This from the right hash and a considerable distance. Has the direction, but not the distance. It falls just short. And they fail to cut the lead in half. It stays at 6.
You know, we get on that field in pregame, and these kickers make it look so easy. But in real action, it's a totally different animal. That was definitely on line. Just didn't quite get all of it. It's going to wind up just a few feet short.
Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Timeout called by the Jets. That's their final one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. After the sack, let's see what the offense does here. 2nd and 18 coming up. Look at that power, deep left side. Oh no, they get him yet again! Well, that should pretty much shut down throwing his way anymore, Brock. This guy has ended each of their last 2 drives by himself with an interception.
And that's kind of the price you pay when you're playing phenomenal ball as a defender. I can remember Aaron Rodgers, primetime game, said, I'm not even throwing once, and didn't attack Richard Sherman one time that game.
Let's go now. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Looking to throw. They connect on the deep shot. The 30. The 10. And somehow they've reached the end zone with no time remaining in the half. That score was less about the throw, although it was good, partner, but it was more about getting it to somebody who knew exactly what to do with it.
Okay, it's a good thing the touchdown shows up on both their stat sheets, because sometimes, well, it's quarterback who delivers, and sometimes it's the effort after the catch that really makes the magic happen.
That one splits the uprights, and they'll take the lead. Now Browning nodding into the kickoff. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback.
On the jump.
The New York offense ready to get going here. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. Hey.
They start the half to give them all. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he can reach that 40. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down in just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
Let's go.
They go play action on 1st down. And they pick him off again. Picked off by Billy Bowman. And the Falcons are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season. Well, you kind of had a feeling, Brock, that they were going to be passing early and often, coming out of the locker room on the losing side of things, right? And that coverage, man, they knew it too. Right there to make a play on the very first throw.
Yeah, no doubt, I think in any of our minds, they knew a throw was coming defensively, and that's fine. You could know it's coming, but you got to then go out and execute and take it away. Played right into their hands, and a chance to add to this lead. Well, that's a major missed opportunity for the offense and a sigh of relief for the defense. And you got to adjust a little bit, get some extra help on the back end of your defense to take those shots away.
After the incompletion, they come up on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Penix. Complete left side to Robinson. And he's down inside the 40 before he's escorted out. It's a gain of 12 on that one. And that is good enough for an Atlanta 1st down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut.
It's bringing pressure, and they got it. Looking quickly here. Penix working from the gun. This finds Chuck complete. And he's able to get it past midfield and down into the Jets side.
high school quarterback just last week, and I told him one of the greatest attributes a quarterback can have is courage. And it takes courage to sit in that pocket that long, let a play develop, and let that receiver work all the way from one side of the field to the other, give him a chance to make a play.
And this one won't get there. Looks good, but the stop is made just before he could get the first.
You know, I don't mind the scheme. In fact, I like the call. Just not on that third down in particular. Need to get it closer to the sticks to have a chance to move those chains.
That earlier miss may be factoring into this call. They're going for it here. Looking to throw. He's got it to his running back. All the way. That's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons push their lead further to start the half. It's a Bijan Robinson touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. Koo on now for the extra point. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Falcons grow their lead to 8. Now Browning on to handle the kickoff. And that one's going to skip across the goal line and into the end zone. So the football will come back out to the 20. Jets getting ready for this 1st and 10. Not deterred by that pick. He's throwing again. Connects on the crosser. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker. And that hit prevents a first down. Just a yard left to go on 2nd down.
Viking 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler. Mustang 19.
Back now, pressure coming. Oh, brother, it's another interception. Jesse Bates in to pick it off. And the Falcons take possession as he makes his 4th interception of our season. Oh, man, Brock, somebody, those other leaders on that sideline, they've got to sit him down and calm him down. 3 consecutive drives now where he's thrown an interception.
Yeah, this defense is just all over him, seeing every throw. And
cut in the end zone for the Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons parlay the interception into points. Kyle Pitts with a touchdown. Koo on now for the extra point. Pressure off left, and it's blocked. Ooh, and I think we envision this one going all the way back for 2, but they're able to track him down and limit the damage to just that blocked kick. Now Browning on to handle the kickoff. Here's Miller on the return. And he gets to the 25, but not much further before going out. New York to the line. 1st and 10. Back to work after throwing the pick. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And after one play, this drive might already be in trouble. That's going to push him back for 2nd down.
hey, I understand that call. You try to get play action to get away from the rush. The problem is this defense has just been relentless.
Throwing on 2nd. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. Taylor going downfield, it's caught. And they'll take him down after he advances this up to about the 43. 28-yard pickup there. And that's good for a Jets 1st down. Takes the handoff. Now to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And their fourth sack of the game right there brings up second down.
All right, to the point of the game, Kate. Now, we got to get the ball out of our hands. He is just taking a beating all game long. And on this drive, yet again, find a way to protect, find a way to run, and get the ball out of his hands.
That's complete inside the 35-yard line. And he takes it in. Touchdown, New York. The Jets shrinking the lead some in the third.
I know you got to mix your looks defensively. You just can't play all zone coverage, and sometimes you got to play man-to-man. But with the receiver, with that kind of speed, that is scary, and he just made him pay.
Nevis now for the extra point. So before we get into attempts, there's contact up front. Will it make this field goal easier or harder? All right, so with the penalty, a chance to go for 2 from the 1, or they could elect to try a shorter kick. That kick a whole lot easier after that penalty, right? And he sends it through. Just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Doesn't like what he sees, so we got a touchback. They're going to begin this drive at the 35-yard line. Good starting spot here for the Falcons, Brock. This is 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Penix. Escapes the pocket. They were open on that play, so he's going to chuck this to another county.
I'll give this quarterback credit. He bought as much time as he could, but eventually, the only option left was to throw it away.
Following the incompletion, we stay at the 35. It's 2nd and 10.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
They go play action. Here's Penix. Cut down the field. It's Pitts. There he goes again. He's into the end zone for an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons take a 13-point lead. Kyle Pitts with the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. Koo with the extra point. And the Falcons double their lead to 14.
Falcons 37, Jets 23.
Now Browning on to handle the kickoff. And that one hit the landing zone first and then into the end zone. So it's going to be a touchback out to the 20. First call here coming from the shotgun. They'll come out throwing. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. No luck finding his receiver that time. And it sets up 2nd down. I'll try again from the 20 after the incompletion.
18, Pioneer.
Back to the air they go on 2nd down. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
That's overwhelming pressure in these sacks after sacks after sacks. It's built this lead, and you know it's the way they want to finish it.
Trap 60, trap 60.
From the gun on 3rd down. It's an excellent work to drive them all the way out past the 30-yard line. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the first.
And the Jets, first down. It's a gain of 25 yards.
Back to throw.
Jets.
Buys time, rolling right. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out. The Falcons bring it in. They're able to take this fumble back inside the red zone.
You know, this just can't happen on 1st down. It really can't. I mean, ball security is at premium on every down, every distance. But on 1st down, it is especially a killer.
Penix now on 1st down. That was first real mistake. That's intercepted. Quincy Williams has it. And the Jets get the football as he makes his third interception of this season. Inside the red zone, they could feel how tight they were to the goal line. And then bam, Brock, they're off the field after a clutch interception.
I tell you what, football's the ultimate team game, but this is a situation where an individual picks up all 10 of his guys out there on the field. Somebody else is going to pick up the tab at dinner tonight for him.
Put some heat on this deep ball, left side. Looking for his wide receiver there. And now it's second down.
That's what I call complimentary defense right there. That pressure by the group up front, that leads to the incompletion and to the benefit of that secondary.
After the incompletion, second and 10 once again from the 20.
Come on. Hey.
From the gun, it's Hall. And he's going to be stopped right around the 37. A pickup of 17. And it's good for a New York first down. Three quarters in the books from this one. The Jets have it, but some work to do in the final frame. They're trailing.
New York.
We've set it down from 37.
Get it. Ready.
First and 10, looking to throw. And down he goes. The Falcons defense gets it done. And they've got a little extra distance now to make up here on second down.
I think we've reached the point of the game, Kate, where I got to make my PSA. Protect the quarterback, and quarterback, protect yourself.
Give on second to Hall. Excellent play defensively as they get to him behind the line. He's going to bring up third down.
This coordinator tried to show some trust and belief with his offense. A run after a negative run, you lose a lot of equity and belief in that coordinator. I don't think he's going to try a third run after back-to-back negative losses.
Third down from the gun. Completed over the middle. And he's going to be brought down at the 42.
Pursue. It's why they do these drills all the time, Kate. You do it through the offseason, do it through training camp, do them in the regular season. Because when a defense plays with tremendous pursuit, you force fourth downs just as they did.
Down in the fourth, offense staying out there for this. Desperation time here. This one's caught. Smith has it. This gets the whole way down to the 11-yard line.
I love this, Kate. No issues at all going to this receiver in the short field because they know at any time when this man touches the ball, he can transform a short completion into a big play.
Looking inside the red zone. Buying some time left. That one's incomplete in the end zone. And that throw doesn't lead to 6. And now they face second down.
There's a lot of studies done every offseason, Kate, about the best red zone offenses. And typically, it's about creative quarterbacks doing just what he tried to do right there in extending the play out of the pocket. The problem is there was just nowhere for him to go with the ball.
And he's going to take it in for the New York touchdown. The Jets now within one score in the fourth. Breece Hall with the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you instantly think of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
And the call to go for it not rewarded as the pass falls incomplete. All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Falcons in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10.
19 Tiger, 19 Tigers.
Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Panics to throw again on 2nd. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
Just cannot afford right here, Kate, to go 3 and out. Not when you watched your counterpart score a touchdown. Gotta cling to that lead and find a way to convert this 3rd down. It's a big one. And cut off some of the mojo from the other side.
Last pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. 3rd and long. They're going to throw. That one complete to Pitts. And they do get him down, but the damage is done. This gets down inside the 35-yard line. They'll get 31 yards on the play. And that's a Falcon 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the gun, it's Robinson. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is he put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road from what looked like a very plain play. As quarterback, Kate, you got to hope that those crumbs don't just lead to the cookie in the passing game. A short scramble like that may open up a bigger one down the road.
Just 2 to go. He'll throw it. Complete beyond the marker. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. He gets 6 on that play. And that is good enough for Atlanta 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
From the red zone on 1st. Gets it quickly to Palmer. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. And even 20 yards on the play, and it awards them with a 1st and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
A touchdown would put this one to bed. A few shots at it here, starting with 1st and goal. Robinson is in for the Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons score up by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. It's a Bijan Robinson touchdown. Extra point by Q is up and good. And the Falcons lead by 15 now. Now Browning on to handle the kickoff. Gibson now to return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. New York offense ready to get going here. It's 1st and 10. They'll start this one out with Hall. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
Big man up front said, "Not in my house." Let me tell you, Kate, once you're in the grasp of one of those big old fellas on the D-line, you're done. They would say it on the East Coast like this: it's over. Over.
He just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be third down.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's cruising speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take over after his 9th interception of the season. All right, and for those of you keeping score at home, that is the 6th. Yes, I said the 6th time they've intercepted it this game.
And I'm glad you repeated that, Kate, really, because I think a lot of people watching might have heard 6th and assumed they were wrong. That is a staggering total for any defense in any single game. And it doesn't come without every member of their defense doing their job. Even the ones without the stats and the interceptions, they've done their part in pressure, they've done their part in coverage, and they've done their part to put together one of the best defensive days I've ever seen.
Second and 6 coming up here. Oh, Gronk, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Flush down now to his left. No place to go, so he just threw it away.
Kate, I gotta believe he harkened back to that earlier pick and thought the better of making another. Getting outside the pocket, he was either going to try to run for it, had nowhere to go, so he simply threw it away.
Third down, give to Robinson. And he is going to have the Falcons first down. And Gronk should clinch them this victory.
Ask for a little bit more on that one. That's that running back to come up with more than he's used to on third down. He made it look like just another day at the office. I wouldn't expect every conversion to go as smoothly. He sure made that one look routine.
No progress on first down, and that'll bring up second and 10. So the Falcons defend their building and take the win at home. And I know it's different for every sport, Brock. So is this the point where we'd say this winning?
Woo! Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell when the in your mouth. Come on. Bring them out, bring them out. Hey. Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out. Hey. Bring them out, bring them out.
VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me. Both feds in the state wanna see by me. The whole city got pissed, heard he got 3. That other rapper got it, but shouted he not me. Who set the city on fire soon as he got free? The king back now, don't even know how to act now. Hit the club, hit before I sat down. Still ballin', money stacked tall in the shack now. Still push a button and let the roof on the lag down. I'm on the road doing shows, put my Mac down. Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to Chat Town. I got the crowd yelling, bring them out, bring them out. All my hot girls yelling, bring them out, bring them out. All the dope boys yelling, bring them out, bring them out. Front the back, they yelling, bring them out, bring them out. Get with other southern rapper hooded than this. I got rich and I'm still in a hooligan clique. You be rapping by, I'm moving the bricks. You talk about, now we're doing it, prick. You in the face, you gon' be suing me quick. If I catch another case, I know it truly be missed. So I'ma keep a cool head, stay out of the news headlines, and show these other rappers it's bedtime. It's clear to see that I'm ahead of my time. I cop the chromed out, hard top career with a shine. I got some time, name, I get better with time. Who got a flow and a live show better than mine? I got a packed house yelling, bring them out, bring them out. All my hot girls yelling, bring them out, bring them out. All the dope boys yelling, bring them out, bring them out. Front the back, they yelling, bring them out, bring them out. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. You wanna beef with the king? What is you gon' do?